Good evening and welcome to our Village Towing pregame show on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham. We both had last week away, a big Garber victory, but already week 6.
The season flies by, It seems like yesterday we were week 1, and then week 2 we were John Glenn at Garber in a big rivalry game, and that seemed like so long ago. And here we are, week 6, and both these teams have a lot to play for if they want to have any postseason aspirations.
Well, postseason basically for both teams starts tonight. Swan Valley, we start with 2-3 on the year. They pretty much got to roll the table if they have any aspirations of the postseason.
They do, and they have a junior quarterback, Colton Klein, who we've called a couple of their games in the last couple of years, watched him progress as a freshman, and he's going to be a fun one to watch. Anytime you're in that 2-3, 3-2, you really don't want to take any chances. So if they want to get into the playoffs guaranteed, they're going to have to run the table and make sure they guarantee themselves a spot in the postseason.
And Colton Klein is definitely a double threat, as he is a great passer, but he can also tuck it and run. He makes good decisions.
I was just going to say, I think the thing that we've seen him mature is the decision-making, is knowing when to tuck it, when to throw it. And he makes some really spot-on throws. But I tell you what, I think the best part about John Glenn that we saw a couple weeks ago was their defense, and they have been playing very well. They got their first victory last week. They took a tough one, 12-6, and I tell you what, that defense is going to give Colton Klein a lot of problems tonight.
Well, Damaris is back, was not able to play in week number 2, and he seems to be the fuel to that engine.
Yeah, I think if they're able to get some stuff going on offense, and I'm talking about John Glenn, Buzzer did a nice job when he was doing a lot of keeping. And again, as that game against Garber drew on, they were getting first downs, they were getting positive yardage, but maybe a couple penalties or a bad snap put them behind the sticks a couple of times. So I expect tonight, again, as they continue to shore up what we saw in week 2, I really expect the best John Glenn team. Their best game is tonight.
Now, when you're looking for a school of choice as a middle schooler or as a high schooler, the way this facility has emerged over the last few years, it's got to pay dividends down the road.
Oh, it does. They have a tremendous facility. I was just looking outside the press box, looking at all their practice fields. We're walking in around, the 4th grade Bobcats, the 5th grade Bobcats, the middle school Bobcats. There's really a great culture of football and really of all sports here. I mean, their entire complex is beautiful. And the one thing I think Rodney Woods, the athletic director, I believe he's been now a year into the job, he is going to continue to do great things. They're going to reap the rewards when they have hardworking people that are putting the time in. They got great boosters. They got a great concession stand. They got a lot of enthusiasm, and that's going to continue to carry. These kids that are coming up, they're going to be able to play on this field. They're going to enjoy this atmosphere. And we've been both blessed to have been here in the 80s with the Loop Show, and they've been very good football teams here at John Glenn.
Well, we are excited about the possibility. We're looking for John Glenn to play their best game of the year tonight and take down the Swan Valley Vikings. So that about puts the wrap on our Village Towing pregame show. Back with all the game action in just a moment on BCTV. So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Coquitlam, or give us a call at 989-684-9607. Here we go for week number 6. Zahn set to kick off, and just a little squib kick, and it goes down into a front area and is picked up with actually a pretty nice return, breaking a couple of tackles, and heading out is number 28, Forgash.
Forgash made something happen there, and Zahn, figuring he doesn't have to do too many tackles, he went down there after he'd squibbed it and made the tackle.
Well, that was amazing, because usually your up-backs aren't as privy to get their hands on that ball, but he did, and made a couple of people miss at the 25 and picked up 10 extra yards after first contact. Spot that ball down at the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. Buzzard in the shotgun.
Do we still call him G, or we call him Garrett today?
Ooh, yes, sir, yes. Oh,
yes,
in and out of the hands of the wide receiver, Lucas Gies.
I tell you, that was a great pass. I know Swan Valley was looking to run right away and coming out looking to toss the ball right there. A couple weeks ago, he was on our roster as G Buzzard, so home roster has him as Garrett.
So we're going to go with the full name that was given by mother and father. Second down and 10 yards to go. There's a handoff up the middle and a very, very tough defense led on that play by number 61, Murphy Walker.
Yeah, number 9, Joey Miller also in on the hit for the Vikings from his linebacker position. Strong, athletic Joey Miller comes from a big-time athletic family. His mom used to be the head basketball coach, the women's coach at Delta College for many years, Kelly Miller. State champion at Carleton, too. Look at that,
yes.
Pulling out the historical books.
Man, he's already deep into the sports thesaurus here in the first minute of the first quarter. Third down and 9. Buzzard back to pass, and great defense that time by number 9. Garrett Buzzard again gets his hand in there defensively and knocks the ball away. And
well, that would be Joey Miller getting his hand in there. Buzzard made the pass.
Yes.
Yes and yes. Hey, we had a week off. Are you calling a boat race right now?
Yes, that's still down in West Virginia, I think. So 3 and out is not what you were hoping for on your first offensive possession of the game.
No, getting 1 yard there. Swan Valley toughened up their defense, but strength of John Glenn, I believe, is their defense. So let's get them guys on the field and let's see if we can get the ball back and maybe switch the field position a little bit.
And we're going to have offside on the defense. Unfortunately, that's still going to create a 4th and 4. So I don't think it's enough to change Coach Horton's concept on 4th down. It just gives you a little extra free real estate.
Well, gets them up to the 40 and a half there. Still looking in the the punt position. But, hey, you know what? Draw them off one more time.
Well, you either draw them off one more time or you might try and sneak one to one of your upbacks and try. There's pretty good exchange there. There's a high, short kick. Didn't really get it to turn over like he wanted to, and that thing is going to come down on the 37-yard line. So tough kick, and it looked more like a wedge shot because he didn't get anything after the roll, but we'll find out what happens with the Swan Valley offense as they are definitely a force to be reckoned with, as their offense is definitely going to be Colton Klein.
Yeah, Colton Klein. I got Joey Miller in the backfield as well, running back. Another senior. Been up, I believe, all 3 years, the sophomore, junior, and senior year now.
Yep, Klein and Miller were huge factors last year. Trying to come to the outside. The Bobcats really have good defense, but just getting to the outside is number 22, as Boer just got outside. It looked like John Glenn had that pretty well contained, but Boer just had an extra gear to get to the outside around the corner and really flipped the field in one play.
Brings up 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line for Swan Valley. You know, we talked about Klein in the pregame show, just about how he's matured IQ-wise and such, but you know, it's nice when you got a couple of running backs back there that can help. And then again, what you're trying to do, you're softening up that defense for maybe a little toss.
Switching to the outside, and a great pass completed to number 4 on the play Pelt. But the John Glenn Bobcat defense, they're in a hurry to shut that play down.
Number 2, Isaac Boher for the Swan Valley Vikings is their key wideout. Someone to keep an eye on. He's got some great wheels. He's been known a time or two to get behind defenses, and with Klein being able to find him, so keep an eye on number 9. Be a good matchup.
Second down, 7 yards to go.
As Lucas guys is
split backs. Boer again bangs forward for a gain of about 4 or 5 on the play as he gets down to the 32-yard lines. And when your defensive backs are having to come up to make plays, that makes it tough. Tacklers led on that play by Vrabel. It'll be 3rd down and a very manageable 2. As they come up to the line of scrimmage again, just going to run an eye backfield now. You've seen 3 different looks already.
Little toss pitch.
Boer to the outside. And again, looked like he could have been stopped in the backfield, but finally brought down right at the line of scrimmage by Eli Richardson.
Give him a yard there. It's going to make it a 4th down and a long one. Long one.
Yeah, and we're going to find out just exactly what Swan Valley's intentions are. I don't think that they're any position right now where they want to punt, and it's too long a field goal, so that just leaves one great option, I believe, and that will be Colton Klein's decision here on 4th down, because he's got Boer as his single back. Now they're going to come back, and they try to fleet flicker, and they're going to try and get rid of that ball downfield, and the ball is tipped away. Excellent defense provided by the John Glenn Bobcats. And that ball's going to go over on downs. Got a little fancy on 4th down, Coach.
Trickery on 4th and 1. That's kind of like drawing up a fancy basketball play when you just need a layup.
Well, Kevin Gavanda thought that he was going to catch the John Glenn Bobcat defense overflowing, and that did not work out too well for them, as the Bobcats had very disciplined defense and come up with a big turnover here on downs in the first quarter.
What we got here? We got something that happened down here. I didn't see the call. Looked like he signaled first down for Swan Valley. I don't know if that was a mistake by the official or if there was a penalty called. Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, we're going to find out what Guy Marcoux is going to have here for us in a second.
They moved the marker, the 4th down marker, back a yard.
And whatever it is, it appears that it's going to be on the John Glenn Bobcats.
Well, they're marching off 15. The flag on the sideline, is that a sideline situation? Somebody on the field? Coach out of the box?
I'm doubtful unless the line judge, unless he ran into somebody. And I didn't even ever see the flag. So unfortunate that the ball goes right back to Swan Valley as Joey Miller, the ball carrier on the play, just got back to the line of scrimmage as the stout defense from the Bobcats roars again. 2nd down and 10.
Well, a little discouraging for the Bobcat defense. Come up with a big stop on that 4th down trickery play and give it right back to Swan Valley, plus 15 yards.
So from the 17-yard line, 2nd down and 10.
They like that toss sweep right there.
Forward to the outside, and again,
nice tackle.
John Glenn defense really flowed to the football and left Boer no running room at all. Looking like back out there on the corner again is Buzzard.
Just to point it out, the uniforms for John Glenn are very tough, but you told me that next year they will be easier to see for us older people?
They are 100% guaranteed to be easier to see for us visually challenged. 3rd down and 8 yards to go. As the Swan Valley offense roll into the wide side of the field, and what a perfectly thrown pass from their Colton Klein into the end zone. It's a Swan Valley Viking touchdown.
I tell you what, Mayette worked his way from the far side of the field all the way across. I think they were expecting him to go to Isaac Bower. He was running a corner pattern, and next thing you know, Mayette just kind of kept floating his way across the field and was the recipient of a nice pass by Klein.
Boy, Klein put that in a perfect spot, and first 6 points of the game. And again, just when it looked like the Bobcats were going to get the ball back in halfway decent field position, never did get a chance to see the signal on that play, but had to have been some type of a personal foul to be a 15-yard penalty. The try for the extra point. It's blocked and no good. Time out on the field with 7:25 left in the first. It's the Swan Valley Vikings 6 and the John Glenn Bobcats nothing. Back in a moment on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back on BCTV, Jeff Doan, Jason Newsham. Glad to have you along tonight. Nick Page directing, producing, and filming tonight. We are in for a great game tonight as the Swan Valley Vikings score first, but have the extra point blocked. And now it's time to see what the John Glenn Bobcats can bring on the offensive side of the ball. Ball picked up at the 12-yard line. kind of slipping a little bit, but not going down right away, is one of the 2 running backs. And
Beeson or
was it Beeson? I think it was Beeson.
Number 2. Colton Beeson on the pick up the scoop in the probably about 15 yards on his return.
Ortiz led the tacklers.
Be first down and 10 from the 27-yard line.
So it looked like when Beeson tried to change gears and directions, he kind of blew a tire, and once he did that, that small gap that he saw closed up. First and 10 for the Bobcats. Trying to go right up the middle, and Swan Valley just stuffs it at the line of scrimmage. Absolutely no running room for the Bobcats on first down.
Walker Murphy in there, Joey Miller in there. We've called both of their names a couple of times. It's going to be tough sledding right now. I think they're going to have to try and get something maybe to the outside, or if Buzzer can get one of these completions and soften up the defense and at least give them some opportunity.
Well, and Damaris, too. We didn't have the opportunity to see him in week 2, and as we talked to the pregame show, he is a very important piece here on both sides of the football for the Bobcats. Single split to this side, double wing with a single back. Now they run motion. And a great play call and great yards after the catch that time by number 1, Logan Damaris, as he finishes in style. Finally brought down amongst others by Lagan.
Great play call right there, wide open. Got a little bit of running room, little green grass, made a guy miss. Just what the Bobcats ordered on offense.
Well, and Buzzard, the play call was perfect because he rolled away from both of the backside blitzers on the play and was able to get a great pass off before any contact. Ball down at the 46-yard line. At that point, it'll be first and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats as they're sniffing midfield on their second drive. Again, wide receiver to the far side. They're going to continue to run motion, trying to get to the outside and breaking a tackle, but we got a penalty flag down on the play as it looked like Ochoa trying to get out to the outside, and I think that's normally going to go where you're going to find a hold.
Yeah, and when it's back there, there's a good chance it's going to come back. The problem with it is they threw it far behind the line of scrimmage, so this is going to hurt the Bobcats in terms of field position if it ends up being a hold.
Well, we've got 2 people down on the field, and looks like we're going to take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Back here on BCTV as Ortiz was the injured player for Swan Valley and able to come off the field, and the 10-yard penalty for a hold makes it first down and 20 yards to go. The flag happened 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but penalties behind the line go back to the previous line, and so therefore it's only a 10-yard penalty. Buzzard trying to get some time. Boy cuts back across the grain, trying to get to the outside. One person away from being able to maybe go downtown, but you get 11 yards back on that first down play, and your playbook opens up a little bit, Coach.
Well, you know what opened up was the field as he rolled away from this couple of defenders that were trying to get him behind the line of scrimmage, and as he made that decision to tuck and run, he had a lot of green out there in the middle of the field and was able to cut back. Great tackle by Cal Delisle, because if he didn't make that tackle, he'd still be running. Sometimes the best plays are the ones that break down. You don't want to rely on them by any stretch.
So you were going to call that a tackle like you always do. They're all touchdown-saving tackles, aren't they?
Every tackle in the game of football is a touchdown-saving tackle. If you don't tackle them, it will be a touchdown.
Here's a pitch to the outside, and a little grab here, and that's going to be called. And it's very unfortunate because this is Joe with a great run, but that's coming back.
A little
a roach out. I mean,
yeah, a roach is probably thinking to myself, I probably should have ran out of bounds.
And it was very obvious. It was something that everybody on the home side saw. And
What are you talking about? There's not one person on the John Glenn side that saw a hold there.
Well, there's not one of it that would admit to seeing it because it was a 50-yard play. But unfortunately, that one's coming back, and that will be from the 49-yard line of Swan Valley. So that 10-yard mark-off will mark them back around their own 41-yard line. And again, you take a nearly 50-yard run out of the books. But it's nice to see the Bobcats starting to stretch it out and do some things offensively that are starting to get some chunk yardage.
Good plan from the offensive standpoint. Nice pitch in a Rocha. Again, the only, you sit there, you talk about knowing that the penalty was called. Why Swan Valley kept playing it, because if he would have fumbled it, they would have declined the penalty and we would have taken the ball over. So, it's one of those things where, there's a reason he didn't run out of bounds, as I suggested.
Well, you got to definitely play to the whistle, and as long as that play's going on, you never know what could happen. Buzzard back, and now we have got offsides on the defense. So
yeah, Logan Zahn got a little anxious down there on the end, sneaking up from his linebacker position. He was going to bring the heat. It's a lot easier to bring the heat when you get an early start.
Well, and it's something that, as a defensive lineman, you love that 2nd and 15 situation where you just think you can pin the ears back and take off to Buzzard, but it is a free 5, and it will be 2nd down and 10. We're going to have offside again on the right side defensive tackle. Their helmet's over the line, and Rick Avacroft says that's a no-no. So they get all 10 of those yards back from the penalty now, 5 at a time. And it will be 2nd down and 5 yards to go for the John Glenn Bobcats. Now moving the ball into Viking territory. And you could tell from up here, and it was perfectly in front of our vantage point, that both the right side nose and tackle were over the line. Let's see if they figure it out now. They've backed up a half a yard. Buzzard back to pass. He's got people coming from both sides, and he gets rid of that ball, throws it in the neighborhood of his wide receiver, and gets out of trouble. And he'll live for another play on 3rd down and 5 yards to go.
Well, they've had some good success on this drive. They had the nice pass earlier to Demarest, who right on cue as we were talking about him. And then they had a nice pitch to Orochi. This is going to be one of those drives, I think on 3rd down, you're thinking 2 plays right now. You want to at least cut this yardage down in half to give yourself a chance on 4th down, make it 4th and short. Can't go backwards.
Well, last time on a big 3rd down, they did go to Demarest, so we'll find out if they had enough success with that and see something that they might be able to work, as they are working from the near hash here on 3rd down and 5. And trying to come to the short side of the field, and what a great open field tackle that time by Booger.
Yeah, Isaac Boher, the number 2, the senior. He's been a 3-year player. Again, good speed, good everything. He's a multi-sport athlete for Swan Valley. Had him in basketball a couple of years ago. Really, outstanding. He's an outstanding young man on top of just being a good athlete. Well, they didn't get half the yardage, so now it looks like they're going to be in the punt position.
They're at least in that punt formation.
There you go.
As they will, boy, they've had both of their punts. They've had to bring somebody on late to round out their group. And a little bit more cautious. And what do we got? Another penalty flag. And this one's got to be on the center for a false snap or the right or left guard, because the umpire's only got 3-player responsibility on the field.
Well, we'll find out if he jumped the gun. Maybe he's feeling a little left out. He hasn't thrown a flag all game so far.
And he doesn't have to worry about going home having Mama get upset because they need the Tide stick on those hankies tonight because they're playing on turf. So wave the flag.
There is no flag on the flag.
So again, we'll try it again. And 4th and 5 turned into 4th and 6. So that ball just barely off, but a nice floating kick and a fair catch taken by Swan Valley. That is number 23, Delisle. From the 22-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Swan Valley Vikings, as we've got 3:36 left in our first quarter of play. 6-0. Swan Valley on top over the Bobcats from John Glenn.
John Glenn, that was a time of possession drive right there. They've had the ball for quite a few minutes. Would have liked to have gotten something points, but again, they flipped the field, and let's see if their defense can rise to the occasion and keep it that way.
Well, this is a very, very multi-talented offense. As Klein, again, in his third year running this offense, goes right up the gut, and he's going to pick up 13 yards on the first down run, and a huge tackle by the John Glenn Bobcats. That looked like Richardson.
He didn't have much of a choice. He was going to get ran over there to make the tackle.
It was buzzard.
Yeah.
And again, those John Glenn Bobcat numbers, the 8s and the 9s, are a little tough for us to catch, but that was buzzard and not Richardson. Moving the sticks, another 1st and 10 for for Swan Valley, as they moved the ball up to the 35-yard line. I would say Demarest filled the gap that time. And Brewer just got rocked.
Boston, brother of Isaac, the number 2, the one we keep talking about. Definitely just got introduced to Logan. Logan just sent him back. That reminded me of a shot from the Lions game last night where they were really putting the helmets on the Packers. That was a great hit. Heard it up here.
Well, and he sniffed the play out from the start, and he just flew to the spot and finished. Klein throwing the ball on the outside as there's just a little quick slant to the inside, and there will be about a 10-yard gain, and they are going to be able to move the sticks again. And from the 45-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 once again, Swan Valley.
As Mayette, I believe, coming back through on the slant pattern for the Vikings. You know, Klein's been right on both times. He's thrown the ball to Mayette today. The only time that they've had a little trouble with their pass game is when they got a little razzle-dazzle. They got out-razzle-dazzled by the Bobcats.
They got out-thunked. And Klein again on the quarterback keeper. He's going to pick up another 13 yards on the play as he's down to the 42. And there's no option read there at all. That's a straight designed run.
It was, and he was making sure his running back got out in front of him as well. I thought that was a great design. You know, it's one of those things where you talk about when we did the Pink County game a couple of weeks ago, is that quarterback in their situation, they're single back, being patient, letting the guys get there. And then once the hole's there, he got right through it.
Well, and he's reading off that block extremely well. 1st and 10 once again for the Swan Valley Vikings. Motion to the wide side of the field, and they're going to run a little jet sweep, and absolutely nowhere to go for that ball carrier, Delisle.
Well, they're going to give him a generous yard.
Richardson with the initial hit defensively, so very well played that time for a modest gain of a yard. 2nd down and 9-yard to go situation. 1 minute and 11 seconds and counting left in the first quarter as Swan Valley's trying to get down the field for their 2nd time. And now trying to come to the near side of the field.
No,
Bobcat
yes.
defense denying. Is that Richardson once again?
We'll go with 8.
Yep, that is a great job that time as Brewer could not get around the corner.
Nope.
And loss on the play is going to make it 3rd down and about 13.
Yeah, dropped him for about a 4-yard loss. Got in there, you know, you tried to pitch a couple of times out of the I formation. I love the I formation. I love the old school football. Let's line them up and put helmets on helmets.
Well, and the John Glenn Bobcat, plenty of credit on that play because they read it, but they were able to finish and make that tackle up for a 4-yard loss as they're going to give 5 of it back. Offside, and boy, the defense just a little anxious there on that play, Coach.
Well, you just talked about it when John Glenn was on offense about how, you know, you get down in those 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15 situations and your defense pins their ear back. Well, sometimes you just got to remember to wait for the snap, but boy, you had 2 guys coming across that time.
You got to watch, not listen, and that's how you will never be offside. Just put the corner of your eye on that ball. 3rd down and 9 yards to go. What could be the last play here of the quarter? And they're not even going to get it off. At the end of our first quarter, Swan Valley 6, John Glenn nothing. Back in a moment for the 2nd quarter on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local source for team uniforms, sports spirit wear, and more. Gear up with confidence. We've got your team covered from head to toe, ensuring you stand out on and off the field. And that's not all. Unleash your team spirit with custom spirit wear that roars success. Wait, it gets better. Introducing our free fundraising online stores. Effortlessly raise funds for your team while showing your pride. Customize your fundraising to reach your team goals. Get started online at sandlotsports301.com or at any one of our 3 convenient Great Lakes Bay locations. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your team, our passion.
Back here on BCTV as it's 3rd down and 9 yards to go. Let's see if the Bobcat defense can come up big. Climb back to throw the ball, and he's throwing a lollipop up for grabs. And great defense that time as the pass is incomplete. And that pass had just a little bit too much air under it, allowed the Bobcat defense to flow to the football. The incomplete pass intended for Delisle. It'll be 4th down and 9. Swan Valley.
Well, we talked about John Glenn's defense having to step up, and step up they did. Swan Valley, now they're going to try to flip the field as they...
And I like this call on 4th and 9 if you're a Swan Valley faithful fan, because you should be able to pin John Glenn back around the 10-yard line with a good kick. And that is muffed, and he is not going to get back to midfield as he kind of picked up his eyes a little bit before he watched that in, and the Bobcat rush just crushed that kicker. And with a short field, it'll be 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats from the 49-yard line of Swan Valley.
You know, we talk about it almost too much about how every offensive possession or certain offensive possessions are key to this game, and this one right here, this is going to be the key drive of the game. What do we call it, the Village Towing key drive of the game?
Yes, it is. We'll find out how the Bobcats can take advantage of this opportunity.
A lot of guys running in and out of the off of the field. I'm not quite sure if they know this is week 6.
Couple of broken tackles. Damaris, he's at the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10-yard line before he's finally brought down by number 23, Delisle.
Well, right on cue.
Boy, I'm going to tell you, Damaris just absolutely shucked off 2 tacklers 5 yards downfield and ran to the open field and had a great run down to the 10-yard line.
That'll be a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. This is going to get a break coming off after that big run.
He just runs like he's possessed. Boy, you love to watch somebody with that much intensity. And we're going to have a timeout on the field. I believe that is going to be Swan Valley.
John Glenn.
Oh, the Bobcats called it.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back here on BCTV, the Bobcats with 2 timeouts remaining in this first half will have 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
That's a good call right there. You want to make sure you know what you're doing. You want to make sure you punch this one in.
Well, they got to punch it in. You called it the key drive of the game for the Bobcats.
I did. Now I called it a key timeout. Now we got some.
Well, what happened is the left guard was in his 3-point, and he stood up and went back to it, so they're going to have a false start on the offense. And that is tough. I don't know if they were calling an audible at the line of scrimmage, but you've got to learn when you're a lineman and you've got that hand on the ground, you cannot bring it up until the snap of the ball.
Even if your back itches?
Yep, if your back itches, then
you can't let it itch.
Just tune it out. 1st and goal from the 15-yard line. Tough 5 yards of real estate to give up here for the Bobcats. See if they can make something happen. The read option trying to get around the corner, and again, very, very well played by Delisle defensively to shut down that play on Beeson.
Beeson tried to make one stiff arm, but unfortunately wasn't able to escape the grasp of the Swan Valley defense. Now it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 20-yard line, so they're going the wrong direction.
And Buzzard held that ball until the last second, and it's tough to see what his read is going to be down there, but boy, the Swan Valley defense certainly flowed to Beeson in a hurry as soon as that handoff was made. Second down and goal from just outside the 20.
Demarest back in the game alongside to the left of Buzzard. They fake it to him, rolls out. He's looking.
He's going to try and turn around the corner. There's just not much room out there. Is playing angles again. Was that Delisle out there again?
Joey Miller. Joey Miller was the linebacker in pursuit there. Chase him all the way across the field.
So it's going to be third down now and 17 yards to go as the Bobcats have moved 7 yards back on their first couple of plays here with a penalty and a loss and then a modest gain. So let's see what Coach Horton can pull up here on third down and goal from the 17-yard line as that out-of-bounds play stopped the clock temporarily with 10:27 left in our first half.
Well, we did see in pregame they do have a capable kicker, so that is certainly in field goal range right now. So you want to make sure you don't lose that.
And coming back from the backside, and Buzzard did not even know that he was coming, and that was Zahn.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's a kicker extraordinaire. He's a linebacker extraordinaire. He's a sack master. Tell you what, he's been getting a couple of really good jumps over there on the end coming in on that blitz. Well, Buzzard looked right the entire way, and Zahn came from the left.
Didn't have any indication he was coming from the backside or the blind side, and that took them out of any chance that they would have had to attempt a field goal. And that missed extra point is going to be a huge factor potentially in this game, and a field goal would have cut that lead in half. So we'll find out now as see if Buzzard's going to have time to go back there and throw. He does have a great pocket. Now he rolls to the outside. Let it fly to the end zone. Lets it go into the end zone. It's a John Glenn Bobcat touchdown.
You get half the Swan Valley secondary. There's 6 of them in the end zone, and they're all looking at each other.
Whose man was that? That wasn't mine. That was yours. That was yours. Oh, that was mine. Oh. What a great play.
Hey, you know what? You extended it, did everything right. I thought he was throwing it up for grabs until I looked down there going.
Well, and you got nothing to lose by even throwing it up for grabs, but he had a plan with it, and Buzzard threw a beautiful pass into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now the ever important extra point on the Village Towing key drive of the game. See if they can finish it off with the extra point.
As Buzzard to hold. Nice when you got your quarterback back there holding. The extra point is up. It's plenty long, and it's good. Time on the field with 9:30 left in the first half. 7-6, John Glenn over Swan Valley. Back in a moment on BCTV.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham. We are pleased to have you along here at the Bobcat Nation. It's second year with this football field, but what a plush complex.
The John Loop Field, long-standing coach here at John Glenn, the field named after, affectionately spelled out on the field. As it looks like Mayette's going to pick that one up on the bounce, I mean.
He has a spin, and he gets up to the 36-yard line before he's finally brought down by the John Glenn Bobcat defense.
Well, the Bobcats benefited from the muff snap on the punt from Swan Valley. They got the ball at the 49-yard line, punched it in a couple of minutes. Defense had a little bit of time to rest, relax, get on the sideline, maybe get a drink, and now it's their time to come back out here and see if they can put another stop on the Swan Valley offense.
Looks like Richardson is going to get credit with that tackle. And again, a pretty good starting field position at the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Swan Valley Vikings, as they go to their third drive of the game. And Klein breaks a tackle. Look at him moving back and forth across the grain. He's going to pick up 22 yards of offense on that beautiful play. And he took a hit at the end, but bounced straight back up, to be 16 again.
I haven't seen moves like that since Bo Jackson and Tecmo Bo back in '89. He's weaving, he's jagging, he's here, he's there.
And I'll tell you, everything that Klein has done tonight has been calculated and successful.
Yeah, he's patient back there. Again, a sign of maturity, at the quarterback spot. He's not rushing everything, making the right decision. As he throws that one out, that one's going to be incomplete. That's on the carpet, as they would say at the Astrodome.
That thing is down on the floor. Billy White Shoes Johnson couldn't pull that one in. It'll be 2nd down and 10 yards to go for the Swan Valley Vikings. Young people are going to go, Billy White Shoes Johnson. He may have been the first person to wear the white shoes away from the traditional black. And he just made him look faster.
Your historical thesaurus.
Yeah, the thesaurus. Beautiful pass out on the wing, and it's complete on the play to Delisle.
Yeah.
And we're going to have an extra at the end.
When you're in the blue, you just got to realize, just let him go. I get it. You want to make the tackle. But certainly not in a situation where you're going to give up a free 15. It's a learning play right there. It looks like the penalty is going to be called on the freshman Lucas Guys.
Yep.
Yeah, it's learning.
And, Guys has made a lot of nice plays. Going to have a dead ball, personal foul against the Bobcats. And that is going to move the ball down inside the 20-yard line.
Into the red zone.
And it will be a 1st and goal, or 1st and 10, as they're going to cruise that thing down to the 14. It's a tough penalty, as Swan Valley has got an impressive drive going here, led by Klein.
Yeah, they're looking to answer the John Glenn big time score, big time offensive possession. As it looks like they're making sure that everybody's on the right page, same page. The officials will talk amongst each other. Or he just wanted a quick break. Figured he'd call the white hat over.
Well, you want to make sure that we're right and justified with the positions that the ball is spaced. So Miller on the carry, and he's going to bang forward for about a couple of yards. As coming up out of that stack, looks like Forgash. So about a 3-yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7. And the clock is at 8.5 and counting left in our first half of play.
It's a pretty quick possession right here. It's only been about a minute since they've had the ball with the penalty, the stopping of the clock.
Colton Klein again as Miller in motion. And we're going to have another penalty flag. And it's going to be on the offense. I was trying to look to see if I could catch anybody moving on the offense.
I think it might have been the receiver may have had a little giddy up in the step before the snap of the ball. Right in front of the officials. Not where you want to do that as a point of reference.
Yep, that's exactly right. That is the last thing that you need.
You can get away with
it right in front of the official.
You can get away with some holding if you're an interior lineman every now and then. You get a little tug here, a little pull here.
Right to the middle, and the ball is nearly intercepted. And he got there just a little bit early. And I'm telling you, just wanted to jump that route, and he was ready to pick 6 that ball, as he would have been flying the other direction. Was that Stopyak? Trying to catch the number back there. Again, those Bobcat numbers, they're going to need to be double outlined in the future, and they just blend in with the jersey.
Nice jerseys.
Yep, they are. I like the color scheme, but that is going to be half the distance to the goal.
Well,
but it's not an automatic first down. Only roughing penalties are automatic first down. So in case you were the inquiring mind and wanted to know. 2nd down and 3. John Glenn defense absolutely stuffs that run for virtually no gain on the play. Initial hit coming from big number 77, Stahl.
Well, big 3rd down right now. Still about 3rd down and 3. If he marks the ball, I can't see where he's marking it. Still marking it, around the
8. Well, and what's interesting is if they don't get any more and they think that they can attempt a field goal, they got the extra point blocked. So will that change their thought process here, depending on what they get on this third down? The Bobcats are moving up to the line of scrimmage, and they go offside, and that's going to be a half the distance to the goal, to the 4-yard line, and that changes everything.
Could depend on your spot. So right now it's sitting at about the 8.5, so maybe a third and a half a yard, or they're going to bring the sticks out.
No, it's going to be first and goal.
Okay. Yeah, I know. If Nick Saban was down the sideline, he'd be 8. I want centimeters.
Oh.
I want the credit card between the ball. Come on,
boy! Now. What a tough break for the Bobcats. And again, a yard loss on that play again, as Boer was just stopped in the backfield.
No, Klein.
Nope, that was
Klein kept
Miller.
it.
Oh,
nope, Klein
okay,
kept it.
He didn't hand it off.
That was a great sniffing out on the Bobcat defense, because he's been kind of picking his way with his movement out there at the quarterback spot. So
they were just selling out up the middle. They were guessing correctly on that play. Second down and goal from the 5-yard line is 6:40 and counting left in our second quarter. Taking it off left tackle, and that's Miller. He's down to the 1-yard line. He's into the end zone. It's a Swan Valley Viking touchdown.
Well, I tell you what, he worked very hard for the 4 yards right there, but I must have wondered if the John Glenn defense, when they swung him down, if they swung him into the end zone.
Flung him forward.
Flung him forward, yeah.
You can't have the old flungin' going forward.
You got to flung him back. Flung him back.
Flung him way back. That's back from the 70s. So try for the extra point. We'll see what Swan Valley's able to accomplish on this extra point try. As again, the last one came out low, but it was blocked. They're going to go for 2. They're not even going to make an attempt at the extra point. Up to the line they come. Let's see what they've got designed. They're going to roll to that side of the field and probably a straight run all the way and shut down and into the end zone. What an unbelievable play from Colton Klein as he was hit at the 2-yard line, kept his balance and was able to fall forward.
The stretch of the ball toward the pylon.
So with 6:32 left in the first half, it's 14-7. Swan Valley back on top in this seesaw battle. Back in a moment on BCTV. Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs. Beeson and Arocha deep to return the kick as Logan Zahn will set the kickoff for the Vikings, up 14-7. There's going to be a little short squib kick, and that's going to roll out of bounds at the 28-yard line. So now the options you've got, you can take it at the 35 or you can have a re-kick. There is no 5-yard penalty incurred because the ball never got to the 35-yard line. Anything plus 35 will be spot plus 5 if you choose to accept the penalty.
Well, it looks like they're going to 35, but let me tell you something now. Logan's on. He has squibbed one. He's kicked one off, and now he's tried to pooch one over the top, kind of showing his all 3 phases of his kicking game right there.
So he's trying to be consistently inconsistent.
Well, he's just trying to keep, the best part about it is trying to keep, you don't walk by the official when he's making his hand gestures.
They're going to back him up 5 and allow him to re-kick it.
So, it just makes you wonder on the kickoff return what you're expecting now. You expecting the squib, you expecting the kickoff, you expecting the pooch. You're trying to find pockets into the kickoff return where you give your guys an opportunity where there's no return, and you even give your guys an opportunity to maybe sneak onto one with some speed on the corners.
Well,
there.
Zahn has not shown the ability to kick the ball deep, and I like the fact that the deep return for John Glenn are moving up, and I would even move up to the 20-yard line, and I'd move that next wave up to about the 33. You really cut that middle angle off if you do that. But I don't know what Zahn has got up his sleeve here, but the Bobcats should be able to get plus 35-yard line on this possession. As that ball goes right down the middle. And, yep, they're going to be plus 8-9 yards as they'll bang forward out to the 44-yard line. So nice call by Coach Horton to have that ball re-kicked. And that sentiment was relayed by many up here as well. It's a great move. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line for the John Glenn Bobcats.
Well, we talked last possession about how important it was and how they got to counter a Swan Valley score to keep this game within striking distance. So down 14-7, 6 minutes left here in the second quarter. Another big possession for Garrett Buzzard and the rest of his John Glenn offensive teammates.
Well, they showed great diversity on the drives that they've had tonight. So they're able to do a little bit of everything offensively and move the ball. And now trying to go up the middle. And there is a gain of about 6 yards. What a great hard run by Damaris.
Yeah, every time he's had his hands on the ball, something good has happened, whether it was on the pass, whether it's in the last couple of runs. But you're going to take 5 yards on first down every time.
Well, and he's a kid that I would say almost 100% of the time after contact is still going to fall forward for another 1 to 2.
All the time, 100% of it?
Yep. 99.99. It's like Ivory soap. It's that 44 100ths. Second down and 3 yards to go for the John Glenn Bobcats. Again, banging it. No, Buzzard on the keeper. He does a great job of keeping it himself, and he's right at that first down marker, and I think they're going to give him the first down.
Tackle by number 42 for the Vikings, Jack Lagan. And they're going to give him enough round for first. That's great. You know what? It's nice when you can have Demers back there, decoy, and take away 3 defenders who aren't going to be chasing your as you're trying to run around the corner and looking for your pitch.
But what a patient read by Buzzard that time, as he really didn't see any benefit to the pitch, so he knew he was going to take what he could get, and he put his shoulder down and got the extra yard and moved the sticks. Fake the jet. Now they're going to go right up over the middle with a great pass completion to Kuzminski.
Yeah.
And that was just Kuzminski doing a nice job. He high-pointed that ball and was able to move forward down to the 28-yard line. So Bobcats are rolling deeper into that playbook right now, and successful answer to the drive here thus far from the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. As Damaris bangs forward, moves the entire pile for about 2 yards.
Yeah, we got a quarterback change out there as well. Number 0, Connor Greer is taking the snaps. The junior listed as a wide receiver, but Joni's got the, he should be easy to find with that pink rag in the back.
He just came out, and I did not see, Damaris carried on that big first down run. Maybe he took a shot that kind of felt a little twing or something and came to the sideline. He's trying to roll up the middle, and big number 79 swallowed that play up.
Jalen
Miles. He was just shed his block in a hurry and shut that play down. They're going to give him virtually no gain on the play. It'll still be 3rd down and about 8.
They're looking for a little spark out there. Greer with the nice pass to Kuzminski. Nice connection there on the previous possession or previous plays. See if they go back to it. Little slant action here. Maybe you don't see Demarest out there. I see him back on the sideline right now. I don't know if, like you said, I don't know if he just needs a break or come back from injury.
A little back with a great little backside screen, perfectly set up and down. Breaking a tackle inside the 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into the end zone. It's the John Glenn Bobcat touchdown, Kuzminski. Wow, what a great play call that time, and the defense was sucked in, and the offensive lineman out front got just enough of a piece of the defensive back to seal him.
I don't think that's Kuzminski. I think it's number 32. 32. I don't know what 32 is.
32 is Boyk, the freshman. So
you must have an updated roster.
Yep, I did get that just before the game. Bradley Boyk. So the freshman comes up and makes some noise in his first varsity game. Extra point is up, and it's good. Time into the field with 3:22 left in the first half. Tied at 14. Got a great one here from John Glenn. Back in a moment on BCTV.
As the voice of Michigan's student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports should be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe that athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe that students in the stands should have fun,
but not take away the focus from the game.
We believe coaches should act like teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and support their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Back here on BCTV, great answering drive by the John Glenn Bobcats here with 3:22 left in the half. And there'll be a line drive deep into overhand kick, and it's going to roll into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. That could not have worked out better for the Bobcats as they got a great roll on this turf, and it rolled all the way to the back end of the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Swan Valley Vikings.
Well, let's give credit to both those guys. We mentioned Krasminski, thinking he was the recipient of the touchdown. He joined the team a little late. He wasn't on the roster in week 2 when they were at Garber. And then Bradley Boyk was the recipient of the last screen pass. Nice little behind, what do you call it, a little behind screen pass with a little backside screen pass? What do you?
Just a great misdirection screen, and that was everything flowing the other direction. And again, pass completed, but after a 3-yard gain, there was a thump at the end of that play.
They gave him a 5-yard progress on that, so he
that
definitely
was defensively, that was number 1.
The Hankinson on the tackle.
Yeah. Yep. Again, these numbers are really, really tough for us to pick up. But next year, the interior of that number has got to be in contrast to the jersey, and they've got to be square and block numbers. Downfield, the pass is just underthrown, making a nice job of coming back for that. And
they cannot.
They're going to talk it over for just a second. It's incomplete.
I tell you, the only one that was happier than the rest of the sideline that it was incomplete was the defender who jumped a little early and mistimed his jump and almost gave it up.
And the thing is, I like the fact that the back judge will check with the line judge, because the back judge was blocked somewhat by the body coming down. So the clear view, even though it's from farther away, comes from that line judge. They conferred, and they got it right.
Well, when all else fails, go back to what works and climb up the middle.
He is just a special young man.
You know, it's a good play call right there. It's safe on 3rd down. They kind of spread the defense out a little bit. Everybody was expecting pass. They threw 2 quick passes on 1st and 2nd down. So, you know, worst case scenario, you give yourself 4 more downs here, maybe take a couple more chances here for the Swan Valley offense.
Well, and you know the type of an arm that Colton Klein has, so you know he's capable of gunslinging. And he throws a nice little control pass, and that will be fumbled, and that will be a completed pass and a loss. Nope, they're going to call it incomplete. Ooh, I thought he had an opportunity to make that 2 steps down and make a play. He got rocked, though, on that play. Defensively, the linebackers and the DBs are coming up, and they're laying some serious wood on those receivers.
The defense right now, their enthusiasm is sparked up. The offense's enthusiasm sparked up right now. The entire John Glenn student section's enthusiastic. Everyone's enthusiastic. We're enthusiastic up here in the booth.
Well, we got a great crowd on hand tonight, running for his life again. And now passing the ball downfield, just a little too much on that pass. from Colton Klein.
I told you, Bower has speed, and that's one of those situations. If he gets behind you, that's why Colton Klein was able to throw that ball up there. That is a pass that they have completed more times than not this year.
And that is another great opportunity for the John Glenn Bobcat defense now to make a play on 3rd down and 10. Get that defense off of the field and see if they'll have some time with about 2 minutes left and 2 timeouts to see if they can come back down the field and make some noise.
Look for maybe Klein another sneak.
Hope they're running a little jet sweep this way and it's going nowhere. Bobcats might need a timeout right now, and I believe they're going to take one. I think the brain trust for John Glenn are listening to the broadcast tonight. Heard that we thought that it'd be a great idea for the timeout. Took one as well. We'll be back in a moment on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham as the first half now with just a couple of ticks under 2 minutes left. Bobcats are going to get their hands back on the ball as that ball is rolling down and going to go out of bounds at the 34-yard line. At that point, it'll be 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats with $1:52 left in our first half. As they're going to officially mark that out at the 33-yard line, but we'll see what Coach Horton decides to do. And, you know, something else we have not talked about yet, Jason, in this game is where did Coach Horton previously coach?
Is that the
Swan Valley Vikings?
Well, I know that, but I thought is that the Aflac trivia question for the week?
Yes, it was.
I forgot you can't give it right away. We got to make people suspense.
I wanted you to know that answer.
I knew the answer. We've interviewed him.
I was going to say we did a couple of preseason interviews with him.
His kid played there.
So it's going to be a little extra special this game tonight, and a little extra spring in Coach's step this week.
Oh, on the turf, you can get up and down the field a little bit easier.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats from their own 33. $1:52 left in our first half of play.
Connor Greer's back in at quarterback.
Getting rid of that very quick. A little hook and ladder to the outside. And a face mask on top of that potentially. There's no face mask on that. It looked like the head rocked back, so maybe they got the shoulder or something, but what a great play that time. And I love the fact that you do it on the sideline, too, and you get the clock to stop.
Well, the ball got punched out there, went out of bounds, which was definitely in their favor, but I was expecting a little yellow hanky being on the – we've been throwing that thing all afternoon, all evening.
Well, like I said, you could tell with the jerk of the head. I guess it's on the far side of the field. The indication to my eyesight was that it was there, but he could have got him high on the shoulder pad or something.
That was Boyk again on the recipient of that little ladder, the hook and ladder.
Boy, I'll tell you
hook and ladder.
The freshman just really starting to make some plays here in this game. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. Greer rolling to the near side of the field, and he flicks that ball downfield, and we're going to have incomplete pass. And there's about 500 officials on the John Glenn Bobcat side of the field that think that there was a little contact. And
that's tough, you know. Yep. It was overthrown, so you had that going for you to start with.
Well, and when that ball's overthrown, it really can be tough on an official, because if you're not right on top of that play, at what point does that ball sail over the head of the receiver?
There's no question that Boston Boher got there before the receiver had a chance, but again, the ball was over his head, so are you looking at, catchable versus, did the interference affect his ability to go up and get the ball?
It could not when that ball's not in the neighborhood, but Greer did a nice job. He got away from the pressure.
He's been rolling out,
move forward. Now they're good. They're lined up back onside here. The wide out to this side was a little deep, and now he's going to go. Is he going to tuck and run? He's going to flip that thing downfield. Perfectly thrown into the hands of number 2. Ooh, what a job.
What a difference. What a difference. The offense is just looking like a machine right now. Give Connor Greer a lot of credit coming in into the situation on the offensive side of it and is just making things happen out there.
Well, Beeson made a great catch over the shoulder. Caught him in stride. If he was playing in Canada, he'd still be running, but ran out of real estate. But it'll be 1st and 10 from just inside the 10. Ball bangs forward and moving the pile to about the 6-yard line. In eternity left in this first half of the Buck 20 and counting. 2nd down and goal. They're going to say from the 7.
Any idea who got that ball?
Oh, I would say by the way the pile moved, it was Damaris.
Yes.
Greer comes back from the sideline. Bobcats will get this off with about 55 ticks left in the first half.
Still sitting on a timeout, so they're definitely not in a rush.
Oh, they're in great position right now on that spot in the field. And now we're going to have a timeout, Swan Valley. So that's great. It'll give Coach Horton and the staff an opportunity to come back and talk a little more about it. We'll take a break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local destination for custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional goods in the Great Lakes Bay region. With not 1, not 2, but 3 convenient locations right here in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region, we're your MVP when it comes to branded gear that hits the mark. For over 15 years, we've believed in community, in delivering top-tier quality, and in making your brand shine brighter than ever. And guess what? We're not just about sports. From schools to clubs, from businesses to community events, we're your one-stop shop for custom apparel that makes a statement. So if you're ready to elevate your brand, to make an impact, and to fuel your passion, choose Sandlot. Visit us today at one of our 3 unbeatable locations in the Great Lakes Bay region, or check us out online at sandlotsports301.com. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your brand, our passion.
Back here on BCTV, 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line. Greer back on the field, and we'll see if we can get an update from the coaching staff cruising through at the half to see potentially what might be happening. As again, that ball down and just jumping back on the 22-yard line for a huge loss, as the Buzzard has not been back in since he took a hit on a 1st down. So we'll see if we can find out something quick on him. But boy, that's a huge chunk of real estate with down to 30 seconds left in the half.
I'm sure we have our sideline reporter down there getting all that information for us.
Well,
Nick Page, where's Nick Page at?
They have not checked back in, so still with an opportunity here on 3rd down. Greer rolls to this side of the field. He's got a lot of time. Now he's going to try and tuck it and go, and they're going to probably let this thing go down to about 3 seconds left, and they're going to call a timeout because it's 4th down, and they'll be able to make the last play of the first half. And the 2.8, I said with 3, I guess that took 2/10 of a second to get the communication down there. So they're going to toss this ball in or at or near the goal line on the last play of the first half. We'll take another quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Back on BCTV, this is right at the end of extended range. It's going to be 39-yard attempt. Let's see if he can get enough foot into it. And now they're going to try a fake and going to just wing that ball downfield. And it's going to be picked off by Swan Valley. And provided he doesn't have an opportunity to go coast to coast, that'll end the first half. And at the end of our half, we're tied just like we started, 14-14. John Glenn Bobcats and the Swan Valley Vikings. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to see a little of the halftime show. We'll recap the first half, set the stage for the second half, right here on BCTV.
right, we draw your attention to the 50-yard line. Now performing your award-winning John Glenn Varsity Pom-Pom Team. Once again, the 50-yard line, ladies and gentlemen. Now focus your attention at the varsity dance team. We're doing their halftime performance.
Back at the Frank's Great Outdoors halftime show, Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham, and we saw a great first half, both teams scoring 14 points, and we saw a little bit of everything in the first half.
It's kind of like a punch counter punch. Swan Valley scored. Glenn comes back with their touchdown, which was really big. I think really key for those guys to get that score, the extra point, put them up 7-6, and then the 2-point conversion when Swan Valley scored, and then obviously John Glenn scores again and kicks the extra point, brings us back to 14-14. But again, it was like a lot of feeling out. We talked about it on the top of the show about the playoff atmosphere, and the first little bit was just kind of like 3 and out for John Glenn. You were kind of wondering, then the defense comes out there, and I thought so far the defense has really stepped up. But there's a guy on the Swan Valley sideline named Colton Klein, and the quarterback, I think, is going to be the difference maker in this game.
Well, in the first half, too, you got Damaris 6 rushes, 52 yards. Your Abacus says around 8.5 yards a carry. And but look at Greer, 4 out of 5 for 100 yards in the second quarter.
Well, we talked about that, off the air, but his passes aren't going 30 yards downfield. He's throwing them out there quick to Boyk, and Boyk made a couple of guys miss. I mean, so many guys missed that we didn't even have him in the roster. So even the athletic director missed him on the roster. So, he goes out there, he does his little darting here, darting there. He ends up in the end zone, which was a great touchdown. But I think playing it safe with Greer, little hook and ladder. I mean, they've done some really nice things that have kind of surprised us a little bit. But, again, big second half ahead of him. He comes in as a second-string quarterback. What are you going to get out of him for his first, full half of football, coming out of halftime, making adjustments? So it's going to be interesting to see. And I can tell you one thing Swan Valley is going to adjust on is going to be they're going to know where number 32 is for John Glenn.
Well, and when I look at it, as a quarterback, a backup quarterback, if I'm 4 for 5 for 100 yards in the second quarter, I'm a lot more relaxed when I come out to start the third quarter because I know that I've been able to make plays and make a difference and show great poise.
Well, I think let's go back, you not turn the ball over, and I think that's what the coaches tell you when you go in the game, especially as a secondary. Don't do anything that don't jeopardize anything, don't risk anything. Let's play safe. Let's just get you going here. Let's give you some quick, safe routes. Again, 4 for 5 gets things a little looser and a little bit more calm, but he does. He looks like he has good control of this offense for John Glenn, and let's see what the second half will bring him.
Well, and I really truly believe the team that has the ball last in this game is going to win this football game.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I'm going to go. I've been talking about Isaac Bower, number 2 for Swan Valley. He's got a lot of good speed. And the one thing that I've been saying since the top of the show is that if he can get behind his defender, he has jets. It's the one thing that he does really well. So, don't be surprised if he makes one play this half that's going to be a game changer.
Well, we'll see how it all shakes out in the second half. That about puts the wraps on our Frank's Great Outdoors halftime show. Back with all the second half action in just a moment on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Good evening and welcome back. Second half ready to start. The John Glenn Bobcats were the recipients of the first half kick, so they will be kicking as the Swan Valley Vikings, provided that they can handle this kickoff return and keep possession of the ball, will have the first offensive possession of our third quarter. High deep end over end kick on the run, moving forward with the seam now. Up over the 35 to the 38-yard line with a nice return. Looks like that might be Mayette.
Yeah, number 3. He was a recipient of a touchdown pass earlier from the quarterback Colton Klein for the Vikings. as they will start the first possession of the second half right around the 39-yard.
Yep, just shy of that 39. So nice return. You know, the young man caught that thing in full stride moving forward and was able to pick up a nice return and put the Swan Valley offense in great spot to start this second half. Colton Klein again is going to be in. Now we got to have a timeout by Swan Valley. Boy, they're going to waste one with their before they even get their first play off in the third quarter. We're going to take a quick break and be back again on BCTV. So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Cuckolin or give us a call at 989-684-9607. Back here on Bay County TV as the first play of the third quarter delayed by a timeout by Swan Valley. Let's see what they've got up their sleeve now.
Well, this got to be a great play call right here. Either that or just something didn't sit right with the coaching staff. Well, little trickery.
Little halfback pass, yep. And just a perfectly thrown ball down to number 2 on the play. Pure. And he is going to scamper into the end zone. It is a Swan Valley Viking touchdown.
Well, I hate to say that I called it in the first half, but I said that he can get behind that defense, and he got behind the defender there in that situation. And I tell you what, that was a great pass by Mayett.
I thought it was overthrown at first, and Brewer just did a great job of running underneath that thing, caught him in stride, and he was off to the races. And again, no attempt at the extra point here, going for 2 points again. So they were not happy with that attempt on the first extra point of the game. This 2-point conversion is knocked down, and it looked like might be number 28 on that knockdown. It's Forgash.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. 20-14, Swan Valley over John Glenn. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local source for team uniforms, sports spirit wear, and more. Gear up with confidence. We've got your team covered from head to toe, ensuring you stand out on and off the field. And that's not all. Unleash your team spirit with custom spirit wear that roars success. Wait, it gets better. Introducing our free fundraising online stores. Effortlessly raise funds for your team while showing your pride. Customize your fundraising to reach your team goals. Get started online at sandlotsports301.com or at any one of our 3 convenient Great Lakes Bay locations. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your team, our passion.
Back here on BCTV, it took 18 ticks on the third quarter clock.
Well, that's why they use a timeout.
Yep. They didn't want to waste any time, even though it wouldn't have started until the snap with Varsity. So this one is going to be picked up on about the 18-yard line. Nice return. Waiting on the block up over the 40 to the 46-yard line. And that is number 22 on the return. And that's Braden Lee.
Braden Lee, yeah.
Braden Lee on the kickoff return.
So great job starting them off at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. So this game looks like it's heading down to the wire, and TJ, and we'll find out who has the ball last as to who's going to win this one.
Good opportunity right now for John Glenn, 20-14 deficit, but again, they've been rolling with with Connor Greer at quarterback since Buzzard has come out of the game, and he has been really commanding this offense in a very positive way. So he holds that one in.
Oh, does a great job of reading, and he picks up 10 yards. He'll be right at that first down marker, and to know what he did in the first half, he was 4 out of 5 passing in the second quarter for 100 yards. So he had a tremendous job. Damaris got 52 yards rushing in the first half. So the 2 leading stat getters. And Scoop, did you get any word on Buzzard at half?
That I did not. Did not.
Okay,
thought maybe a shoulder, but nothing confirmed.
I was trying to check too, and great job by Greer. He's going to at least get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a yard or two after that errant snap. And, you know, I've talked to so many coaches, and more so this year, Jason, than ever before, the risk reward out of the shotgun. And, you know, the coaches still find value because that quarterback is 5 yards farther back off the line of scrimmage and has a chance to see things. But I said, you can't really waste 6 or 8 snaps a game and give those away.
Well, fortunately right now we're still sitting in a turnover-free football game, which we haven't had the pleasure to say very often in the games that we've covered this year. So right now this is that was the first errant snap that we saw as that one's going to Forgash, not Forgash, but Demarest. Man, he was a shoestring away from going to the end zone.
Well, and as a defensive back, when you see that choo-choo train coming, you're really not ready to shoulder pad to shoulder pad. He tried to chop him down at the ankles, and so another Demarest big run. It'll be first and 10 for the Bobcats.
It's another nice drive right now being led by Greer. As Beeson will get the call to give Greer an opportunity to stay in the huddle and not run 40 yards over to get the play.
And I like that. There's more people doing that. They'll shuffle a wide receiver occasionally to save that quarterback, and I like that concept. First and 10 for the Bobcats. 29-yard line. Greer to the near side of the field. What a perfect floaty pass. And that's going to go to Demarest again. Demarest is down inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. What nice touch on that pass, too, Jason.
You just got misdirection. The defense just held off just long enough. They bit on the end there. They came in and put a little pressure, released, and you know Demarest is somebody that you're not going to want to necessarily just release. But if they don't release with them, then Greer's going to have the corner himself to run. So good decision making right there by Connor Greer, the quarterback.
But again, Greer just puts a nice floater. He knows there's no defender around and makes a very catchable ball for him. On the keeper, trying to turn the corner. Very well defended by the Swan Valley defense as they shut Demarest off on the first portion of it. So it was a good read by Greer to go to the outside, but the defense did a great job of getting to the spot first.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Bobcats with a no gain on first down. Beeson again brings in the play call from the sideline.
Boy, we've had almost 2 complete trips down the field, 1 for each team, and we still have 9 minutes left in the third quarter. So fast-paced action here in the second half at the home of the John Glenn Bobcats. 2nd and 10. Quick pitch to the outside, trying to get around the corner again.
Boyk.
What speed that time by Boyk to get around the corner as he's down to about the 8-yard line. So looked like he was going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he found another gear to the outside.
He had a little Barry Sanders stop and go right there. He
froze the defender.
And then still was able to make the turn and brings it up to a very manageable 3rd down and 2.
So Boyk did a great job and makes this a much more manageable 3rd down and short. As they come up to the line of scrimmage, and
Krasminski lines up here on the short side of the field. They're going to put Forgash in motion. And then why not go to your big fella?
Just go to somebody that's going to move the pile, and it had to be Demarest just based on the way that pile moved.
Well, he ran, he talked about 52 yards in the first half, six carries, so right there he's telling you that he's getting you 8.6 yards per carry. So it's a pretty good idea if you only need 2 to give it to the guy that's going to get you 8.
Well, if he stays in the game, your abacus tells you that they should be able to get 5 yards on 4 plays.
My abacus.
As abacus as it is. They got 1st and 10 or 1st and 5, 1st and goal for the Bobcats. And what a perfect fake to Demarest. Greer cruises into the end zone. It's a John Glenn Bobcat touchdown. What a great job. As the defense was all looking between the tackles to Demarest. Greer just cruises around the near sideline into the end zone for 6.
I tell you what, that's a great drive right there. They mix it up, pass, run, quarterback option, give it to Boyk to get some speed on it. They're just playing really good football. We're in a shootout, Mr. Doan. We're in a shootout. We haven't been in a shootout here in a long time.
I told you before this second quarter started, I think the team that has the ball last is going to win this game. So both teams are able to make it happen. This is a huge extra point for the outright lead in the game. Extra point is up. It's plenty long. And it's good. Time out on the field with 8 minutes left in the third. 2 touchdowns scored in the first 4 minutes. We're 21-20. John Glenn up by a point. Back in just a moment on Bay County TV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Back here on Bay County TV, as it's beautiful. The first 4 minutes of the third quarter result in a touchdown for both teams, and the all-important extra point puts the Bobcats up by 1. Going to be a high deep end over end kick. Going to be taken and fumbled on the 11-yard line. Still fumbling. He's going nowhere as he slammed to the turf at the 16-yard line. That is number 22 as a Booger on the return.
Lee was the tackler on 22 on 22. Boston Bower was the tried to return the kick. They switch it up because Mayette's been back there. I was kind of surprised, and Bower kind of slipped a little bit, muffed a little bit, and Braden Lee was right on top of it.
I know which 22 won that battle. First and 10 for the Swan Valley Vikings as they're all the way back at their own 16-yard line. Climb back, and he does a pump fake, and he's going downfield again. Perfect defense, absolutely picture perfect. Inside out, used the sideline to his advantage, and incomplete pass.
Tell you what, it was all three. Pass was good, the receiving route was good, the defense was just better.
And it's a long incomplete pass and back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and 10 yards to go, Swan Valley.
So we talk about adjustments all the time. So halftime, obviously they saw something. They come out the first 2 plays with the trick play to start with the Mayette to Bower pass, Isaac Bower. And then that one was another nice pass. I wonder if they saw something or, besides as they give the ball back to the quarterback.
Well, and other than Klein's run, the offensive running game for Swan Valley is not where I've seen it in the past.
No,
and
they don't have that guy being able to chug up the middle. We've saw some great running backs over the last couple of years wearing that Viking uniform that just chewed up 40, 35 carries in a game.
Yep, I believe we had a 42-carry game 2 years ago by one of their players in a game we did against Garber. And that's a guy that's going to spend all day Friday night and Saturday in the ice bath. And on 3rd and 1. And again, we talk about these, Jason. They're unforced errors. And most of these 5-yard penalties have resulted in a first down.
Yeah, we haven't seen a ton of penalties after really the first quarter. They seemed to be everyone was feeling each other out. The referees were trying to figure some things out. You want to, they're getting chippy down there. You want to keep it under control. But I tell you, you can't give up first downs, not when you have an opportunity with the way your offense is playing. You want to get those guys back on the field as quick as you can.
Again, 3-step drop, not much there, and he's going to be able to, he's going to pump fake and send it downfield. He overthrows it, almost intercepted. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't just tuck and go. Looks like he had a little real estate.
I think he was expecting his first receiver to break off his route, and I think he ended up committing himself to the pass because he didn't make the run, the attempt on the run. So once that defender came off of the receiver, I think he was hoping just to drop it off, but great defense by the Bobcat defense on the secondary.
And I'm going to tell you, when you go that long into the play, you're better tucking it because a lot of times you'll get an offensive lineman squirting downfield, and even if you get a big play, it's going to be coming back because they're too far downfield. Fake of the jet sweep. And there goes Klein again as he's going to pick up 7 yards.
Demarest with a nice whip down of Klein, but again, 7-yard gain, as you said, for the Swan Valley. Brings up a very short and manageable 3rd down and 3.
And again, he is been the majority of the rushing attack tonight, but great patient decisions as he's been able to run the football. 3rd down and a short 3 as we're approaching the halfway point of the 3rd quarter. 6:10 and counting. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. Bobcats are stuffing up against the run. And now running out of room. Now rolling to the wide side of the field and going to toss a little lollipop out there. What great touch as that pass is complete down to the 40-yard line.
There's a little bit of everything again. Not bad defense, but that time the offense was just a little bit better. Nice touch, was able to get it on the outside.
It looked like Hankinson was the defender for John Glenn. And again, I think Hankinson played good defense. It was just one of those plays that when your quarterback can garnish that much extra time.
They had him. I thought, they did a nice job. And again, going back to Klein, a couple years ago as a freshman, he would have probably tried to run that. He wouldn't have been as patient in the back.
Now a little handoff, and that looks like Miller, and he may have fumbled the ball.
2nd down, looks like Swan Valley came on top of it. I do believe he did cough it up a little bit there, but the white jersey's back on top of it after a short 2-yard gain. Brings up 2nd down and 8 for the Vikings.
Wow, Coach, you were just talking about we haven't seen a turnover, and all of a sudden you get a little the ball hits the turf.
Well, and on turf, you never know where it's going to bounce. That ball's a squirrely little thing when it gets to the turf.
That ball can go anywhere and everywhere. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Straight quarterback run by Klein, and he makes a couple of people miss. He goes through an arm tackle, and he's got the 1st down and more down to the 27-yard line. What a great run that time.
It was pure run from the start. There was no option. There was no RPO. It was just let my blockers get a little bit ahead of me, and I'm going. And he's showing strength, though. He's showing some really good strength.
There's no read in that it's a straight run, but again, he stutters back there for that second to allow his blocks to form, and he reads off that block very well. Miller, again, he's tripped up, and he's only going to gain, he's going to fall forward for 3 yards on the play. And the John Glenn Bobcats, somebody got him around the ankle, and I'm waiting for that young man to turn around. He's hanging on to his thighs right now, and that looked like Demarest. Yep. So got confirmation from our producer and director in my ear. That was Demarest. So thank you, Dr. Page. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Moving kind of quickly again on a quarterback keeper. Makes a couple of people miss, sidesteps another at the line of scrimmage, and gets down to the 12-yard line. Looked like he was stuffed. The original hole was, but he was able to go back to the left and find another slight gap and move the sticks again for another 1st and 10, Swan Valley. Just an unbelievable job by this wonderful young quarterback.
Only a junior. I mean, let's not forget he's got 1 more year of punishing defenses in the Tri-Valley.
So Klein gives it to Miller. Miller bangs forward, and the defense does a nice job of stopping that. Couple of yard gain is all, as the Bobcat defense does a great job of shutting that down. Demarest again swings to the football, and we know when we talked about them missing him in week 2 against Garber, the reason for that, this young man's everywhere on the defensive side of the football.
Everywhere on the defensive side, but, again, they're getting a lot of good interior defensive pressure up there to really limit everybody that's running the ball. Bower, Miller, they're struggling to get yardage. The only one that's really getting yardage off of the running is Klein. That's because, again, so patient back there and letting his blocks develop.
Jack Lagan on the carry. And again, guess who might have made that tackle, Jason?
I'm going to go with a guy named LD.
Damaris, I'll tell you what, he just is making it happen again tonight. So big play in this game right now. 3rd down and a long 6. And I look for the quarterback to be the keeper on this. He's rolling to the near side of the field. Looking, trying to show patience. Throw it across the graves, and the ball's picked off. Never late back across to the middle of the field.
Connor Greer, man, he read those Isaac Kleins, and you know what? I saw that last night in the Lions-Packers game. The receiver took one way, and the defender breaks in and gets a big time interception for the Bobcats.
Boy,
huge.
He just was indecisive whether he wanted to tuck it and go, and he did have a receiver open, but absolutely baited perfectly by Greer. Stepped right into the passing lane and picked it off.
I hate to say it with my eyesight, but I saw that one coming from up here.
Ooh.
I am going on record.
I'm going to tell you.
But the glasses on, the bifocals are on now.
You got the old specs going. So they're going to move that ball back to the 8-yard line. At that point, it'll be 1st and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats with 2:17 left in the 3rd. And we're going to have a penalty flag.
Can't go too far back. It'll be a half the distance.
Yep, 8 to the 4.
So they'll lose 4, turn up to 1st down and 14.
As I did not catch who moved on that play, but that really backs you up because now your quarterback is receiving that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, he's in the blue.
You'd rather have him in the green grass, not the blue end zone. 1st down and 14 yards to go with 2:15 left in the 3rd.
It's a nice drive by Swan Valley. They had a nice drive going and got it down to the red zone. And, again, that defense, I talked about the pregame. I'm really impressed with the way that the John Glenn defense is stepping their game up.
So Greer back in the end zone, and he's going to throw that ball downfield, and that was just about picked off. Are they going to say it hit the turf or not? Nope. Our back judge, Jimmy Clark, comes right up and said, oh, no, that thing went off the turf. Players tried to sell it. I would have sold it too. Oh, yeah, he got his hands under it. He sure. Oh, nope. Jimmy Clark says, nope, can't fool these eyes.
The old trap back in the day. Trapped it. Can't trap it, see?
So it'll be back again, but Greer was running for his life back there and really couldn't plant that back foot to push off to go forward, and he's lucky that ball wasn't intercepted.
I would have liked to have seen him maybe run on 1st down there, try to give him a little bit of breathing room, try to get it maybe to 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, get a little 6-7 yard gain there. You know, throwing the ball from the end zone, when you're risking a holding penalty, which turns into a safety, it's just a lot of bad things can happen, especially when you're not geared up for playing from your with your back in the shadows there.
Damaris gets up to the 7-yard line as he's tackled by a whole lot of Swan Valley Vikings.
Well,
look at the pile unfolding there. They're just bodies everywhere.
Well,
and I think Damaris might be down.
Just like the Bobcat defense is really keying in on the running game of the Vikings. You know, they're definitely Swan Valley's knows exactly what's going on. Maybe a little cramp action.
We're going to take a break. Oh, it's just a cramp. We've said that before. We'll be back in a moment on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on BCTV, it's 3rd down and 11 yards to go, and I couldn't tell. Greer had his helmet off, if he was trying to adjust something in his helmet or what, but they had to call a timeout so he could stay on the field. And again, they try one of these, and they're going to have a penalty, and that is going to be defensive pass interference, and it's not an automatic 1st down, but 15 yards says going to be enough to move the sticks.
Well, let me ask you a question there, Mr. Official. If the ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage, does that matter?
It was not thrown behind the line of
scrimmage. Oh, it was. He hit him at the 4. I gotta pull that one out. I'm gonna pull the rule book out on you.
Let's see what we got here.
Holding.
Oh, they're going to call it a hold instead of a PI.
Okay.
So the 10-yard penalty is going to make it 3rd down and a long yard.
Well, I tell you what, Swan Valley did their adjustment. They knew where Bradley Boyk was on the field on that play. In fact, I tell you what, you'd rather hold him than give up a 95-yard screen pass.
And again, behind him, there was really a lot of green grass, so maybe that was a good penalty.
Behind him, in front of him, to the side of him, it was all green. Now they're going to have 3rd down and 2.
3rd down. I'm going to call it a long 1, even though it looks more like 2.
Look at a bad angle.
Sounds better. As Greer again sends that to the outside. What a great catch. Ooh. Is that Beeson out there?
No.
To Beast?
Nope. Rocha.
Rocha. All right.
We're getting better at these numbers, with our spotter up here, Nick Page.
He's got the little bigger screen than we could see, and he certainly is helping us out. Again, that's on the far side of the field, and those numbers blend in with the jersey.
Nice play call. Great play call by Coach Horton there on 3rd down in his staff.
Greer threw a nice pass, but it was a great catch. Woo! Now you see me, now you do! Down the middle of the field, down to the 40, down to the 35, to the 30, the 25, 20, down to the 16-yard line. Let's flip the field.
Tell you what, that young man is exciting right there. He just gets the ball and tell you what, Greer hands it off to him. Greer hands it off to him. He gets hit because they didn't realize that Boyk had the ball, and by the time Swan Valley figured it out, whoop, 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 whoop. Down to the 16.
Boyk, just for a freshman, just exploded and took off downfield, and not a bad coming out party for the young man as we're down to the final minute of the 3rd.
So here's a question now. So Greer had the trainer come out and see. So he got hit. He faked the handoff. He got hit pretty good. He has to take a break. They're sending out a couple new players out there. Boyk was walking off a little gingerly, and now we're going to have to wait and see what's going on since Greer had the trainer come out to see him. So that means that Greer has to come off for at least one play. Is number 19, who I'm sure you have on your roster, because I don't.
I do not.
He just hands it off at the middle of the Demarest.
Demarest just bangs forward for 8 yards.
Number 19 goes, keep me in, coach. I got this. I just hand it to the big fella.
It's just a meat and taters play here.
He just grabbed the water boy, threw a helmet on him, said, hey, hand it off to 21. Don't get hurt.
So we'll see if we can find out who that number 19 is, as they're down to their 3rd string quarterback. Might that be a 13 and not a 19? Lucas Guys. So that will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter with the John Glenn Bobcats 21, Swan Valley Vikings 20. Back in a moment for the final 12 on BCTV.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Touchdown, Champions.
All right, back here on BCTV, it's 2nd down and a long 1.
You and your
Bobcats
long ones.
Up. We gotta love the long ones. And it's Demarest. He making people miss. He's down to the 1-yard line. They're gonna call him in the end zone. It's a John Glenn Bobcat touchdown.
I tell you what, if I'm Swan Valley, I'm throwing the red flag. I'm saying he was down.
Yep, he bounced into the end zone from this angle, but
I like the official. The judge only got one arm up.
The only one that matters is the line judge that made that call. So it is a huge score for the Bobcats. And again, this extra point is huge and will put them up by a touchdown and 2-point conversion. They're maybe talking about going for 2 here. I haven't seen them bring out the tee. So if they make this 2-point conversion, they're going to be up 2 scores.
Well,
So here we go with this one on time down from the 3. And you pretty much know who's going to get it. He is shut down. Great job by the defensive end coming in. And that is number 61, Walker Murphy. And the 2-point conversion is no good. Time out of the field with 11:54 left in the game. 27-20. John Glenn by 7. Back in a moment on Bay County TV. Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs. Back here on Bay County TV as the Bobcats are up 7. And Swan Valley with 11:54 left in the ball game are going to have their opportunity as they get the ball on the 12-yard line. Coming forward, making a couple of people miss. There's Buer.
Well, Mayette back there on that return as we have another cramp, potentially cramp. I don't want to call it a cramp until we know. We're not doctors, but Mayette, number 3, big time. Catches that ball on the fly. He's done that a couple of times. And makes you wonder the last time when they brought in Boston Bower what the decision was. Were they looking to maybe sneak something back there? Boston has some good speed as well, but Mayette really has done a great job on kickoff return. Really, really, really good on special teams tonight.
Well, and what I'm going to put on my official's hat right now, I'm sending both teams to the sideline. I'm telling the hydration specialist to pump water into every one of these kids. We've seen 4 or 5 cramps in the second half, so they're not getting enough water in. So let's get them to the sideline. Look at what they're doing. They're finally listening. Bay County TV has it right this time. Hydrate, and hydrate. Go back on the field. No crampo after that. We'll take a break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds
strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Back here on Bay County TV as Arocha comes off the field, and we surmise it was a cramp, and he's still limping around, so he's going to get some heavy hydration into him and keep moving to try and keep that thing from knotting up again. What do we got but a quarterback keeper, and he's going to pick up about 6 or 7 yards again. It's Cole Klein just doing a great job of manhandling the defense, and he gets out of bounds. He only got a 5-yard gain, so he stepped out sooner, but he's not taking the big hit, and he's moving the sticks.
Patience, patience, patience. We preached it with him. He wants that throwback, so right now that's driving him on this drive is to get his team down the field and into the end zone.
As he's back to pass right now, he's only got one person to make miss, and he is going to be just shy of that first down marker. They're going to say he's 2 yards short of that first down marker as he's going to have 8 yards on 2 carries on this last little series as third down and very manageable, and in all probability, Jason, in 4-down territory. So third down and 2 yards to go. 10:55 and counting left in the ball game as they've got split backs in the backfield.
Stick with what works.
And he just finds the hole and explodes through it and picks up positive yardage.
Wasn't even there, when he's getting that ball back there, he's just, again, reading. He's not, there's no fake, there's no option. These running backs are in there to block. And he's allowing them to get up ahead of them and then find the right hole and then darts right through it. First down, on the 32.
And he pretty much says to himself in his mind, 1,001. And by then the 2 blockers are sealing off the first 2 people they see. And he's doing great. He's going to run again. He cuts to the outside. What a great job of beating the tackle. And that is number 13, on that play, Lucas Geis.
Well, I'll tell you what, they got a couple of freshmen on this varsity team. Guys played in that Week 2 game, and now they got Boyk on the offensive side doing some real special things here in Coach Horton's program. So a lot of excitement surrounding a lot of these guys that are going to be back for a couple of years here in the John Glenn uniform.
Well, Geis was really engaged with the wide receiver, but he was able to not only get separation, but to find the quarterback and then bring him down to the ground.
Yeah, I thought Klein was definitely going to go further than 3 yards on that one.
The keeper again, he's not going anywhere this time as
he's talking to his teammates right now.
Flying through, and big number 77, Stahl, said, I'm going to make sure that you go down right now. And he went down to a knee because he saw that Stahl choo-choo train coming. He didn't want any part of that.
Yeah, I think there was a miscommunication. I don't know if it was a missed handoff to Boer back there, but Klein took a knee and looked right at him, and I think he was like, hey, take the ball next time.
Yep, he did not want anything to do with the old 543 coming through to the backfield. 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
Big stop right there, big pushback, a couple of yard loss on the play.
Back to pass. Throwing that thing pretty much up for grabs, and I believe that's caught down on the 2-yard line.
No,
boy, it looked like there were 2 receivers and 3 defenders right there. And it is complete to John Mayette.
Well,
so Mayette
pretty reliable.
Yep, he has been their big play guy. And again, looked like it was pretty well defended. And Mayette still comes down 1st and goal from the 2.
I'm going Klein up the middle.
I would say that's a pretty good guess. Klein gets hit. He's still going to go forward. He's sniffing the end zone. He's into the end zone. It's a Swan Valley Viking touchdown.
Well, let's see if they're going to send the extra point unit out. They haven't done it since the first possession when they scored in the first quarter when they had it blocked.
I haven't seen the block come out since that first score, so I believe they're going to go for 2. So they're either going to be up 1 or down 1 here, as we're at the 8:21 mark of our 4th quarter of play. And you know the play that's been getting you 3 or more yards every time, and that's the quarterback making a good decision, finding a hole and falling forward. So now they're bringing in a couple of other players. I don't know if they're going with the jumbo package or not, but one of them was the wide receiver, number 2, Boer.
Moving Miller. Get set, coming out to the...
Boy, absolutely just floated to the corner and made a great play and a great catch. Miller with the extra point. 2-point conversion is good. Time out of the field with 8:21 left of the game. It's Swan Valley 28, John Glenn 27. Back in a moment on Bay County TV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on BCTV as this seesaw battle, and we talked about it many times in this game. We feel like the team that has the ball last is going to win this game. As they go a little onside, and boy, that thing took a crazy roll. Number 3 was sitting right there for Swan Valley, Mayette, and he thought he was going to have that. That ball just took a little left turn and did a little curly shuffle, and the Bobcats were ready to pounce on that.
Well, we just talked about, the different gambles that coaches take in a game. 8 minutes left here in quarter number 4, 28-27 favor Swan Valley. Is that the time that you want to maybe squib something and give them great field position at the 50?
Remington Rank. That is a huge play by him, because that was not a return where you got your, quote, good hands people up front, and he was able to make a big play. And right at midfield, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bobcats.
Now we've seen everybody.
Greer back in the game, and he does a nice job of hanging on to the ball for a 4-yard gain. He was almost stripped by Cal Delisle.
good first down gain. So brings up second down and 6. Just going back to it, you sit there and you try to go through every type of situation as you prepare for these games. Monday through Thursday in practice, you're watching film, you're trying to figure out when to sneak something in. I tell you what, this game comes down to a couple of calls, a couple of play calls. And I tell you what, right now, having Connor Gurr out there making some of these decisions for the John Glenn offense has been one of the better decisions in terms of when Buzzard went down with his injury. You got a great guy coming in this game. Didn't look like he never played or hasn't played in a while.
But a little miscommunication. And no, it looked funny. That's not a horse collar. Everybody sees something funny, and right away they're going to think it's a horse collar. You got 3 officials right on top of it. Even Coach Horton's wondering. Nope, it was a high tackle, and it was not an illegal tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 4 yards to go. As this game winds down now to just under 7 minutes when this ball will be snapped. So John Glenn just can show all patience and just chew up the clock and get points on the board, and you'll be back in the lead. So now they're going to send that thing out, and the ball is intercepted by number 3 on the play, Mayette. And he's going to go down and get tackled at the 34-yard line. And another player down for John Glenn, and it looks like another cramp situation. But, boy, Greer just waited a little too long to make that decision, and Mayette was just sitting back there waiting and baiting.
Yeah, they had the same thing. They took away the first opportunity for the screen, and then he just tried to maybe get it a little lofted over as Rocha going to be walking off gingerly, trying to shake that off. Yeah,
it's his second time with that cramp, but it really looked like the timing of that play was off, like something went wrong, whether it was a fake handoff or whatever, but the timing just went awry on that play, and Greer tried to make something happen. And
I think the Swan Valley defense had a great play call on that particular play, and I think they snuffed it out and just kind of threw everything off a little bit. Ill-advised throw.
As quarterback keeper with a gloss on the play at 3 yards. I think they've seen that play one time before, Jason.
Yeah, I believe so. This is going to be a huge time and opportunity for the John Glenn defense again to rise up, and really they got to stop them here. They've got to get a stop here with under 7 minutes left here in quarter number 4, down 1. Biggest thing right now is, again, keep an eye. You got to have somebody spying on Klein. They've done a nice job of really not letting him gash. I mean, he's getting 4 or 5 yards at a time, but he's not gashing him for a 25, 30-yard gain.
Well, if they can keep them from getting another first down, they're going to have that ball left with about 3 minutes, and wide open down the field into the end zone is Delisle. It's a Swan Valley Viking touchdown.
So what happened there, Jeff, is the fake to the screen made guys release off of number 23, Kel Delisle. And at that point, again, with a quarterback back there like Klein, that's where everything happened. Definitely had his eyes peeking in. He thought maybe he was going to release off of his assignment, maybe try and make a big stick on the screen, or the swing pass. And next thing you know, a perfectly laid pass by Klein to Delisle. Now puts a little bit damper here right now. It's a 7-point game right now with a chance for 2. Will put the Swan Valley Vikings up by.
And Klein again had just such nice touch on that pass. Led the receiver and floated it right into him. And now we're going to have a timeout on the field as Swan Valley sees the John Glenn defense and may want to alter their play because this is a huge point in the game. We'll take a break and be back in a moment on BCTV.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Back here on Bay County TV, the 2-point conversion, they call it the 1 on time down. As Klein brings that offense up 5 yards deep in the shotgun. Miller in motion, and they're going to go right up the middle, and they are going to be stopped short of the goal line, I believe. And the conversion is no good. It's a huge stop for the Bobcats. 5:55 left in the game. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local source for team uniforms, sports spiritwear, and more. Gear up with confidence. We've got your team covered from head to toe, ensuring you stand out on and off the field. And that's not all. Unleash your team spirit with custom spiritwear that roars success. Wait, it gets better. Introducing our free fundraising online stores. Effortlessly raise funds for your team while showing your pride.
Back here on BCTV as this game has gone back and forth and back and forth, and
it's got more twists and turns than the Hardy Boys.
It is a thing of beauty.
For reference in the 70s and the 80s.
We are just really blessed with a great game tonight, and still with 5:55 left in this game, a whole lot of football left to be played here at the John Loop Field. So they're going to boot this one deep. And it's going to be taken on the 19-yard line with a little seam up over the 35 to the 39-yard line. Looks like double deuces that time. Braden Lee.
He's making things happen out there. It's a couple of those he's taken a couple of times, and he's taken a couple of hits and worked his way through it.
Boy, it looked like he had a nice hold there, but Swan Valley did a nice job at about the 38-yard line of shutting that hole down, because he had visions of flying coast to coast with that ball.
Well, let's see what the John Glenn offense dials up. Last possession ended in the interception. Got Boyk out there just to the right of Greer.
Watch Hankinson down here on the bottom of the formation. As Damaris bangs forward, only gets a yard on the play, and holding on for dear life, waiting for others to come, is that number 42 defensively.
Yeah, Jack Lagan.
Jack Lagan, yep. And Jack was a little disappointed. He didn't have help, but he hung on for dear life and was able to finally bring Damaris down. Modest gain on the play. We'll call it 2. Second down and 8 yards to go with 5:20 and counting left in our fourth quarter.
Well, 32, Bradley Boyk, the freshman, not on our roster, or your roster, not on my roster. So, I think Swan Valley's smartening up a little bit, and they're going to keep an eye on him, as looks like Delisle is going to be taking him a little one-on-one.
The freshman trying to move upfield. Look at him cutting back across the grade, moving the pile up to the 47-yard line. As boy, that is a lot of confidence in this time of the game to give the ball to a freshman that's playing his first varsity game ever. That tells you they think pretty highly of this young man.
It is. Looks like we have an injured Bobcat on the field. As looks like Colton Beeson is. Colton Beeson is asking the trainer to come out, but unfortunately, Boyk is up on it. Not unfortunately, but fortunately, Boyk is up on his own, running off. Helmet's off. Just probably wants to say, "Hey, coach, I'm only a freshman. Am I doing good?
Yeah.
Was I going the right direction?
Can I have another shot?" They're down again in a long 1 yard to go situation with 4:30 and counting left in this game. So still plenty of time for the Bobcats to get down the field and hit pay dirt. As Damaris goes forward, moves the pile and the sticks down to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10. For the John Glenn Bobcats. Coming up out of the bottom of that stack, number 56 defensively, Niederquill.
Krzyminski coming back off. He replaced Boyk on the third down play. Boyk back out there as Greer gets the call from the offensive coordinator down there for the Bobcats.
As again, Greer has really stepped up admirably as the backup quarterback, and he has just done some beautiful things for this Bobcat team tonight. And it's always nice to know you can have confidence in the success of your backup quarterback as an interchangeable part. Now motion, the great job of the fake. Send that thing out, and a great catch as Damaris gets about a 6-yard gain. But Damaris made a really nice catch, and double deuces on the tackle again, Booger.
Yeah, Boston Bower. It's funny when I coached them, I called them all the wrong names because, well, it's just what I do. And now I don't remember how to say his name.
Because you've used so many of them. And you know why you do that. Because you can.
That's right.
Second down and a long 3. Still plenty of time left in the game. Damaris gets hit right at the line of scrimmage and might have got forward to the 40 for 1 as the clock now strikes 3 minutes left in this game. And 40 yards from the tying touchdown, the potential tying touchdown with the extra point. And if they would get in and go for 2 and have a chance to win, we've got to get in the end zone before these choices happen.
Well, you know, all the coaches right now are thinking that they have their sheet, they have their chart, they have their plays, they have the things that they know that or they feel that would work in this situation. You know, a little trickery, or do they want to go for the safe? You know, those are all the questions that you get to ask yourself all week long just to get to this situation. As Demarest makes a couple guys miss and will get the first down and move the chains.
That was just a man-sized collision with Mayette. Demarest and Mayette, but Demarest is able to move those sticks down to the 35-yard line. It'll be another 1st and 10 as this is not for the weak or the faint of heart down there. They're playing some man-sized football.
Well, I was going to question the amount of timeouts. I believe John Glenn still has all 3 timeouts. I know that Swan Valley has used 2 on the scoreboard.
You look on the scoreboard, and it'll tell you they still got 3 each way, but I think that Swan Valley's used at least 1 on the first play of the second half, and they used 1 on the extra point.
Yes, okay.
So they've got 1 left, so it'll be second down and short 3.
So, to my point, John Glenn, we believe they have 3.
I believe they do, yes. And with 1:43 left, again, Greer and the quarterback keeper goes across the green. No! If you're falling forward when somebody's grabbing you by the collar, there is no horse collar. A couple of the officials in the stands are trying to call for it, but nope, no call. If you fall forward, no call.
Play on.
So another 1st and 10 for the Bobcats again with 3 timeouts left at $1:25.
I feel like I'm watching the Lions.
They got time.
It's like we got 3 timeouts. You can't take them with you.
They got time on their hands. Well, the thing is, they want to score with as little time as they can to not allow Swan Valley to have a chance to come back down. Fake jet sweep. They're going to throw that deep into the corner. Did he come up with the ball? They're going to say no, it's incomplete on the play. He made a great play on the ball, came back for it, but the ball squirted away, and we'll come back to the line of scrimmage. But Greer threw that ball in a pretty good spot for the ball to be caught.
We've seen some very good passes. We've seen some great offensive routes, and we've seen some great defense. And again, sometimes your offense just wins, sometimes your defense just wins, and sometimes the ball just squirts away.
So those are the breaks of the ball game with 1:02 left in the game. Second down and 10 for the John Glenn Bobcats. Trying to get to the outside. Greer's got to get away, and boy, he had an open receiver, but he really couldn't get anything on that throw. And it goes back to the line of scrimmage where it'll be 3rd down with $1:02 left on the clock. It's all right.
It'll be 3rd down. Our Swan Valley officials are asking the same question.
You know what? It happens, and it'll be 3rd down and goal as they may be taking a peek at that right now. And
well, I saw a game last night where there was 000 on the clock, and they still ran a play. So they can run a play without any time coming off. I've seen fast. It was a pretty fast play.
So we're going to have a brief stoppage while the.
So what can you decide as an official if you don't know for sure? If you do not know for sure, can you make a decision based on the coaches?
No. If you don't know for
sure,
they're
going to yell something up to us. Hey, that was a great
So they're going to take 4 seconds off the clock with 58 seconds left. And it'll be 3rd down, and the clock won't start till the snap because of the incomplete pass. 3rd down and 10 for the Bobcats. Greer back. He's got time to throw. He's going to throw that ball down into the end zone and out of room. Has great defense. Again, they use that sideline as the extra defender. And it all comes down to one play here with 51.3 ticks left in regulation.
I think he's going to want that one back. I think Boyk, when he broke, I think he had the opportunity if he saw it. But again, you know, you're down there on the field and you got linemen running at you, and that pass isn't always the easiest one. But I think when they watch it on film, they're gonna say, hey, you know, that was one that let it go, let her fly.
And so now the thing is, you've got to understand you do not need a touchdown. You just need 10 yards. You got to get that ball just a skosh inside the 10. And it all comes down to this play. 51.3 ticks left. Greer back. He's got a little bit of time to throw it. He's going into the end zone. In and out of the hands of the wide receiver. He's going to have a nightmare tonight about that one, as he's in the end zone and wishes he could have that back as Greer threw an absolute dime.
Colton Beeson is, you know, again, great route, great pass. You know, didn't come down with it, but you know what? There's 3 timeouts left, 45 seconds. They're still, you know, I mean, as Jim Carrey said in Dumb and Dumber, what you're saying, there is a chance.
There is a chance, and that's all you can ask for right now.
Like one in a million?
Boy, did Greer put that thing right on the button, and Beeson will catch that ball 99 out of 100 times. So now you've got them going right into a victory formation, and we'll see if as the clock winds down right now with 30 ticks left in the game, they'll only have to snap that ball one more time. And boy, what a ball game. It's this. We said the team that had the ball last was going to win this game, and it is Swan Valley, as they'll be snapping the ball for the last time here as they take a knee.
Spirited game across the board. Spirited game.
As we have got 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 and 0. That's all there is.
There is no more.
The final score in the game, Swan Valley 34, John Glenn 27. Back in a moment to put the wraps on this one on Bay County TV. Back at the Sandlot Sports post-game wrap-up, Jeff Doan and Jason Nushin along with you. And we had a game tonight that lived up to the billing.
It did. We talked about it in the pregame, and we even talked a little bit about it at halftime about how they were taking this game as a playoff game approach, and I thought both teams came out, kind of felt off each other a little bit at the beginning of the game, and then Glenn really took a step up with their offense. You know, unfortunately, quarterback Garrett Buzzard, went out there, and then Connor Rear comes in and has himself a whale of a game, passing, running, making good decisions. You know, a lot of times when you bring in a second-string quarterback, you know, coaching staffs will be like, let's just kind of run the ball up the middle a couple of times. But they really felt confident enough to give him a chance to make things happen out there. So, it was a playoff game atmosphere. I was really impressed with how we talked about at the top, the Glenn offense picking up and the Glenn defense. The Glenn defense played well. They just a couple of plays that they want back.
Demarest on both sides of the football was an absolute beast tonight for John Glenn.
Yeah, Terry Snyder's the play-by-play guy here, the PA announcer, and he's by the time he was finished, it was Demarest. He has said it so many times offensively and defensively. Demarest on the tackle, Demarest up the middle, Demarest on the tackle. You know, we know that he was a big missing piece earlier in the year when we covered John Glenn. And it was great to see him back out there. And it was great to see him not just get back out there, but really performing at the level that he expects out of himself.
Klein for Swan Valley, third-year starter at quarterback. certainly did not disappoint either with his efforts tonight.
You know, with the legs, with the arm, you know, he made some really good decisions. You know, I mean, again, we talk about as a football player, you want one play back. You know, his interception, he would love to have back as he was driving his team. But again, he was driving his team down the field, getting them in position to score again. So, you know, really impressed with that young man. Again, only a junior. A lot of bright things still ahead for him, but you know what? Swan Valley moves to 3-3. They're still in the playoff hunt with 3 games left on their schedule, and you know, my hat's off to Swan Valley and the coaching staff, because a lot of adjustments that were made at halftime. We talked about them at halftime, but a lot of adjustments that were made at halftime came to fruition in the second half.
Well, each team had a touchdown drive in the third quarter, so 4 minutes played in the third quarter, and we had 2 touchdowns scored. So that about puts the wraps on what was a great game in Week 6 tonight. The John Glenn Bobcats come up just a little bit shy. But on behalf of the whole crew, I'm Jeff Doan along with Jason Newsham. Great job by Nick Page. That puts the wraps on our Sandlot Sports post-game wrap-up. We'll look forward to talking with you next week.